everybody, it's Michelle, and today I've got for you a Pilates workout on the reformer using one single hand weight. So I have a 2-pound toning ball. You're welcome to use something similar. You're welcome to go heavier or lighter. Use a regular hand weight that you grab onto. Whatever you've got will work great. Okay, so I've got a blue spring on, or a medium spring. So you want to go pretty light because we're going to start using just one strap at a time. Okay, so lay down on your backs. You can have your head rest up or down for your own comfort. And then once you're on your back, we're going to hold the weight in one hand and the strap in the other. So I'm going to do my weight in my right hand, strap in my left hand to get started. Okay, so we're going to go into a variation on the mid-back series, okay, using only one strap and replacing the other with our weight. So you're going to lift your legs to tabletop. You can be neutral or imprint. Imprint might help you stay centered on the carriage a little better, okay? But let's just see how we do. So you're going to start with your arms reaching up. As you exhale, you're going to very, very slowly, slower than normal, push your hands down to hover by your sides, and then you're going to float them back up. So big challenge here already is just to keep the arms going at the same pace as each other, right? Because they have two totally different things going on. The weight is trying to pull the one arm down, and the strap is trying to resist the other arm getting pulled down. So see if you can match those two things up. Now, if you move too fast here and try to yank on the strap, you're going to know right away because your body's going to get pulled side to side. So this is kind of a good lie detector test for if we're yanking and trying to muscle through too hard, okay? So now let's try when the arms drop down, you're gonna flex your spine up. Try to stay centered and then lay back down, yeah? If flexing up causes you to lose your alignment, if your hips swing off to one side or your shoulders to the other side, maybe you just keep your head down today. Yes, you can also go lighter on the springs, but really slowing down is honestly the best way to stay stable here, okay? So now keep your body flexed up and let's try to do a few reps of just the arms. So breathe in on the way up, and it's okay if it's not perfect. If you get off track with your legs, just bring them back to center and keep going, yeah? Last one. And then lay your body down and you can rest your feet on the foot bar. All right, so now we're going to start with the arms in two different places. So drop the weight down by one hip, and then you're going to scissor the arms, one up and one down, and then return. So a little bit more coordination now. Still contending with trying to keep the spine straight and centered on the carriage bed, okay? So if you'd like to add flexion here, do it when your strap arm is pushing down and then lower. So that's tricky, yeah? We're pushing into the resistance of the springs and going in opposition to this weighted arm. Yeah, so see how that feels. Let's do two more, nodding your chin to pick the head up. Now stay up and hold. Keep your body up and continue with those arm scissors. Go as slow as you need to not let your hips swing to the side. Yeah, it's gonna feel so slow, but that's okay. Last one. And then set yourself down and take a rest. Good. Totally different than holding two straps, right? Totally different kind of pull that we're dealing with. All right, so next we're going to do tricep presses. You can either rest your elbows on the mat, that'll be a little more supportive, or you can hover them just off the mat, a little bit more challenge, okay? So now just straighten both arms and bend, just like we would for a regular tricep press. Now I've got my palms both facing the same direction, forward. If for you holding your weight, having the palm a different way feels better, you can totally do that, okay? All right, so now same deal. When I flex forward, I'm going to reach my arms long and then bend to lay back down. Yeah, a few more times. Curl and reach. And then lower down. Very nice. All right, now I want you to flex up and hold. We're gonna do alternate arms. So one is straight, one is bent, kind of reciprocal tricep presses. Now, if you'd like, you're also gonna bicycle one leg at a time. It doesn't matter which leg goes with which arm. Do what feels most natural. 3, 2, shoulder blades up, last one. And then go ahead and rest your body down. Oh, so good. Okay, now let's just switch to the other side. So now weight will go to your other hand. For me, it's my left. And then strap to the right if you were doing the same as I was, okay? All right, so 2 arms up. Now that we kind of know the beast a little better, we should kind of have ourselves better set up for this side. So let's see how we do. Draw the knees and squeeze tight together. Press the arms down as one unit, up as one unit. Yeah, especially when the springs are light, it's so tempting to just pull hard and go fast with that arm. But then we lose the tight rope and we lose that nice even resistance in those 2 directions, okay? All right, so now if you're flexing your spine, it's gonna happen as the arms lower and then return. So now we get a perfect view of what's going on with our hips and our lower body. So check in, make sure your nose and that center line of your legs are lined up with each other. So challenging. Yeah, our obliques on both sides have to shorten equally, even though their tension is not equal at all. Now stay up if you'd like and do a few more reps of the arms. When they float up, try not to get pulled down onto the mat. Those upper half of the shoulder blades, try to stay off. Last one, curl a little higher and then lay yourself on the mat. All right, now same basic thing, except we're gonna split the arms. So the weighted arm starts by the hip, and then they switch places. Yes, so the connection of the inner thighs is a huge help here. It really grounds our lower body as one. The inner thighs and the abs work really well together. Yes, so squeezing those inner thighs helps this ab connection, okay? So now, if you're flexing your spine, you're gonna nod your chin, roll up when the strapped arm lowers, and then return. Yeah, if there's any kind of jumping on the rope, you're gonna feel the effects of it in your body, okay? So slow. And then down, good. So we're trying not to power through it. We're just moving slow and smooth with constant, consistent pressure. Now stay up and we'll scissor just the arms. Good, leave that nice flexion. This is of course optional, leaving your head up. Last 2, last one. And then lay yourself all the way down. All right, so good. So now let's go into our triceps. So bend the elbows either on or just off of your mat and then start your nice slow presses. Yeah, so it's more for the triceps on the strap arm, a little bit more for the biceps and shoulder on the weighted arms. It's interesting. Your joints are doing the same movement, but with different kinds of weight, totally different emphasis on the muscles. Okay, so here we go. Now we flex the spine as the arms press, and then we lower back down. Yes, this is very humbling and tells us if we're used to just tugging and pulling on the straps. Yeah, it's all going to come out here if that's what we're used to doing. Now curl up and stay. Do alternating reciprocal arms. One is straight, one is bent, and you have the option to also straighten and bend legs into a bicycle or a single leg stretch. Yes, for 3, for 2, for 1, and then rest your body down. Whew, so good. All right, so now hang that strap up, roll over to your side to help yourself up. All right, okay, so coming off our backs, I'm gonna leave my springs the same on that blue. So again, light, because we're only gonna use one strap at a time still. So let's sit facing backwards with your legs through the shoulder rests, okay? So one hand holds the weight, one hand holds the strap. So I'm gonna do right hand strap, left hand weight, okay? So sit up tall, have about a palm's width of space behind your tail so that you're able to comfortably roll back. So you're gonna kind of make two fists. So one hand wraps totally around the weight, other hand wraps totally around the strap, and then you're just gonna make a circle with your arms. Have a little breathing room between your two fists. Okay, so a nice big circle. Now you're gonna breathe out, tuck your tail under, roll away from your legs, and you're gonna make your circle smaller. So bring those fists towards you, and then just expand your circle and come back up to your sitting bones. Yeah, do that again. And then up. So just kind of memorizing this pattern. Feel like you're rolling your low back in the direction of the floor. Okay, let's do that a few more times. So now I've got the pull on my strap arm. That resistance is coming from front to back. And then for the weight, it's coming from above. So just kind of feeling the difference there. Now roll back and stay. Hold this small circle. Take a breath in and just keep connected to those abs. Now as you exhale, you're gonna round up and over, almost as if there's a beach ball on your lap. You're just gonna fold over it, relax that rope, round over your knees, and then sit up and make your circle big again. And we'll do that again. Exhale, rolling straight through center. Inhale and hold it. Exhale up and over. Once that carriage hits the stopper, the rope will go slack, and then you'll come up. All right, now this time, roll back and stay, and we're gonna add some rotation. So we're gonna twist away from the strapped arm. So you're gonna pull the weighted elbow back, punch your strap arm across your midline, and then face back front. Let's do that again. Your carriage might move slightly. If it doesn't move, that's also okay. So just kind of find where you can comfortably aim that arm and get it almost straight. Good, do that 2 more times. So you're pulling that back elbow out of the way to deepen that twist. Now face forward, pause here. And let's go to the other side. So now my strapped elbow is gonna pull back, my weighted arm punches on the diagonal, and then I face front. So I'm holding that flexion in my spine, adding rotation. Now the carriage will probably move more on this side. Yes, we get a little more leverage to pull with that arm. Last 2, last 1. Now pause in the middle, take that breath in, and then fold over the legs like we practiced, and then sit all the way up tall. Good stuff. All right, now we're gonna roll back and alternate punching with our arms. So we'll go to every direction. So sitting up tall, roll back and stay. Inhale to get ready. Now as you exhale, punch to one side, come to the center, and then alternate. So your carriage might move more on one side, less on the other. Yeah, so don't worry too much about how much it's moving. Just see how deep of a twist and a reach you can get, and the rest will fall into place. Feel those obliques connected. Now pause in the middle, take an inhale, and then exhale, fold over your legs. Amazing. Okay, so now hold your strap arm out in front like you're getting ready to do a bicep curl. Take your weighted arm, palm back, and hang it off to the side of your carriage. So with my weighted arm, I'm going to do a single arm press back, and with my front arm, a bicep curl, all at the same time, and then I return them back to where they started. Do that again. Exhale, so both hands are pushing back behind me, so into that posterior direction, and then they return forward together. Yeah, this is a little tricky on the coordination, so just take a few sets to get it in your body. The higher this front elbow, the heavier the work that's going to feel on the bicep. All right, now pause, switch which arm does what. So now the weighted arm goes forward, palm up, strap arm down, and you do those same 2 arm actions. Yes, and they feel totally different, right? Because of what type of resistance we've got and from what direction the gravity is affecting those joints, okay? So now let's do a few more. Try to keep your shoulders nice and square. Now, here comes the extra coordination. Every time you return the carriage, you're gonna reach your arms, flip your palms, and go in their new position. So I reach, I flip the palms, and I press and pull. Yes, arms go forward, change directions, press. Good, do that a few more times. So the goal is to try to smooth out that transition as much as possible. Yes, so try to avoid kind of smacking the stopper. Last one. And then relax. Amazing. All right, let's do that all on the other side. So hang that strap up. New strap, new hand, switch the weight. Make your circle with your two separate fists. Big circle to start with. So we exhale, go into that nice spinal movement, rolling away from the thighs, and then just reverse to sit back up. Yeah? And up. Very good. So opening the front of those thighs, lengthening the low back, and then reversing to sit up. Now roll back and stay. Take an inhale here to keep connected to those abdominals. Now as you exhale, feel like this is more of an ab exercise than anything else, to hollow over the legs and then stack up and find your big circle. Do that again. Roll back, inhale and hold it. Exhale, draw the belly button back like you're trying to make your spine touch the wall behind you. And then up. All right, now this time roll back and stay. We're gonna punch with the strapped arm first. So I rotate, pull my weighted elbow back, and then return. Exhale on the punch. Inhale when you come center. Squeeze your legs tight together. So they're kind of your anchor. Last one. Now go the other direction. Pull with the strap elbow, punch with the weighted fist, and then return. Pull and reach. And return. Yes, you want that even pull on the rope in both directions. So it should never get slack. Last two. Last one. Pause in the middle. Take that inhale. And then exhale, stretch. Let the weight of your head pull you forward. And then come up. Amazing. So now let's alternate. Roll back. Hold that C curve in the spine and go both directions with the weighted arm and with the strap arm. Yeah, so you want to kind of punch almost to the top corners of the room. Yes, so up and out off of the carriage on a big diagonal line. Last two. Last one. Pause in the middle, take an inhale, fold over your legs, and then sit up tall. Amazing. All right, so now into the bicep curls and the long arm presses. So my palm on the strap arm goes up and forward, weighted arm down and back. Here we go. Straight arm pushes back, top arm pulls, and then return. So that bottom arm is just wide enough to kind of clear the carriage. Yes, as high as you can comfortably get on that front elbow. It's going to work even higher up on the bicep, the higher that elbow goes. Last one. Now let's switch. Which arm does what? And continue. So the weighted arm is curling and the strapped arm is doing that plow press behind. Very nice. Feel wide through the collarbones of both arms. Now when you're ready, let's start to rotate. So you flip, you switch, and you pull. Yes, depending on if you're holding long loops or short loops, depending on what you've got, you may be able to reach both arms fully straight, or you might have to do kind of a sneaky little flip like I'm doing with mine. Whatever it takes to get a smooth transition, arm to arm. You'll feel it out. Yeah, you kind of want to avoid smacking the stopper. Last two, and then last one. So good. All right, hang your strap up. Now we're going to do a little bit of sidearm work, kneeling. So I'm going to go down even lighter to my lightest spring, which is for me a white. Yeah, so the lightest spring that I've got. You decide if you're able to stay on that blue, that would be fine as well, okay? So now come to kneeling. You can be about in the middle of your carriage. You can always scoot closer to the shoulder rests to make the tension lighter, scoot closer to the foot bar side to make it lighter. So that's another way to adjust. Okay, so now reach down and grab the strap that's furthest forward. Hold it in your hand so that strap goes across your palm, and then you're going to grab onto your weight. Yes, so the weight is kind of sandwiching the strap between the hand. All right, so now bring your elbow close to your ribs without actually touching. So there's a little bit of space, and then we're just going to do a little bit of internal rotation with this arm. Yeah, so it's a small movement, nothing too crazy. And if the weight feels kind of light now, that's okay. Things are going to get a little more challenging. Yeah, but you can always do that scoot trick to change it a little bit if needed. Yeah, so the elbow stays put and the humerus is just spinning within that shoulder joint. Very good. So not only do we have the resistance from the strap coming from the side, we have the weight coming from above with the hand weight. So it just gives us another layer of work for the shoulder. Now pull across and stay. You're going to let your elbow fly up and out to the side, going away from your midline, and then punch it back across. Do that again. Inhale and float with the elbow. Exhale to punch. Good. A few more times. So again, another really small, subtle movement. It's not going to be huge. Yeah. Your arm stays nice and close to your ribs, almost like you're drawing a little smiley face across your rib cage. Yeah. So elbow goes as high as it can without the shoulder lifting. All right, good. So now I want you can set your weight down for a second. You're going to switch the strap to your other hand. So the one that's farthest from the shoulder rests. Now pick your weight up in your other hand. Okay, so now take this weighted arm, cross it behind the strap arm. So your forearms make like an X, almost like you're reaching into opposite pockets with your hands. All right, so now we're going to see why the weight is a little lighter. You're going to pull out with your elbows, set them up where you want them, and then finish with your arms in a T, and then bend to feed back through. Very good. Do that again. Pull and stretch. Feel that force side to side, and then come down. Yes. Now again, light springs give the temptation to pull too fast with the arm. So slow and steady is going to be our best friend here. All right. So now make sure those hips are staying on top of your kneecaps. Pause in that T. Now we're going to breathe in. Keep your arms in this same relationship to your spine and just rotate your whole upper spine towards the shoulder rests and then push into that back arm to return. That is no joke. If that was too hard, bend your elbows so that they touch your hips, and then you can do the twist. Much less resistance. So you pick where you can handle, yes? So the arms can drift a little bit, but they really stay in that kind of same relationship to each other, almost like a scarecrow, right? How that stick is kind of going through the sleeves of the scarecrow shirt. That's kind of you, yeah? Twist, and then return. Okay, let's let that be our last one. All right, now pause in your T, drop your strap arm, take your weighted arm over and find a side bend, and both elbows can soften a little bit and the palms are looking at each other. So my top palm is down, my bottom palm is up, and then I reverse that to return. Do that again. Inhale as you find that stretch. It's an active stretch. And then exhale as you come back out of it. So good. 2 more times. Big stretch. Those hands can kind of cross your center line. Last one. Woo. And then relax. So good, you guys. All right, hang that strap up, turn around, and we will repeat that on the opposite side. So starting with your hand closest to the shoulder blocks, you're going to grab that strap and then hold the weight with the strap on your palm. So now elbow is close, and we're just going to internally and externally rotate the arm. Yeah, so we have that concentric contraction on the way in, and then that lengthening contraction on the way out. So we get work in both directions, and then we get the constant help from the weight. All right, now keep the arm across your body as close as it can be, and then just glide the elbow up and out, and then punch. Yes, so your pec and your front deltoid on that working shoulder are stretching out and then shortening and squeezing to punch back through. Yeah. And then every now and then just kind of do a check-in head to toe. See how you're feeling. Hopefully one kneecap isn't more weighted than the other. Try to spread that out. Last one. Very good. All right, now we're going to switch. So my opposite hand is going to hold the strap, and then that same hand is going to re-grab the weight. Okay, so my weighted arm goes behind my strap arm to make that X, and then you pull out with both your elbows, find a big T, and then reverse it to come down. Yes, 1, I punch out, 2, reverse to bend, 3, and then across, 4. Yeah. Good. Just feel it, breathe however feels naturally. Feel like your spine gets taller on that big T reach. All right, now pause in your T. Keep your arms long if that worked for you on the other side. Rotate towards the back where the pulleys are, and then use that back shoulder and abdominals to come back. Inhale as you twist. Exhale, push with the back of the hand to return. That is not easy, so if you need to bend your elbows, like you've got little T-Rex arms, that would also be a good choice. All right, let's do that one more time. Now, once you get back to your T, you're going to stay and go into your side bend. Drop your strap arm, side bend over with the weight, and then reverse to come back up. Yes, so we're finding that end range. Using our strength to hold it, and then come back. 2 more times. And then return. So good. Last one. Elbows soften, palms face each other. And then relax. Amazing. All right, we are going to finish with a little bit of leg work. Keeping the weight, of course, because that's our theme of the day. So I'm going to go to a red spring. You can put on the red on the side that you're going to stand on if you'd like. But 1 red spring. So we're going quite a bit heavier. All right. Now, stand up off to one side of your reformer, and you're going to stand almost like we were getting ready to do single thigh stretch, and this will work whether your reformer is high or low to the ground. All right, so now you want to line your knees up so that they're about even side to side. If your bottom foot goes more forward, the springs will feel lighter. If it goes back, they'll feel heavier, okay? But start with them about even. Now, the foot bar is there if you need it. You're going to hold the weight in your outside hand. You're going to stand tall and reach that arm down by your side. Now, this other hand can be wherever, on your hip, out, or touching the foot bar if you need the support, okay? So now I'm going to lunge by bending my bottom knee, kicking my back leg away, leaning forward, and curling the weight to my shoulder. And then I'm going to reverse that. Bottom leg straightens, back leg bends. Good. Now let's do that again. Exhale, lunge and press, and then come up. So we're not rushing through these. We're really holding that resistance for a long time. Yeah, now the more tightly pulled that spring gets, the resistance gets greater. So at that end range, we're really squeezing and finding it. Now, if your reformer is higher off the ground, the angle might be a little bit different. Yeah, so if you wanted to have the exact angle as me, you could put your box a long ways next to the reformer and stand on it, okay? Now, let's do a few more here. Slight lean forward so the back can stay pretty neutral, and it's the hip that opens. Now, get to your lunge and stay. I want you to kick your arm back behind you. Now we're going to do scootering with the back leg as I do tricep presses with the arm. So now this one we can go for a little bit more speed. Yes, feel the abdominals gently drawing in. Very nice. Do that 3 more times. 2. Last one. And then stand all the way up. Whew. Amazing. Okay, while we're here, drop your knee and take a quick single thigh stretch. So maybe your foot can come forward a little bit. Tall spine. And then just exhale. Push the carriage away as you open that back thigh. And then inhale, come up. Good. Let's do 2 more just like that. So the more vertical you stay, the more short you keep these abdominals, the better that thigh stretch is going to be. Okay? 1 more time. Good. Now come up about halfway. Take your outside arm, reach it up to the ceiling, and take a nice side bend in towards the center of your carriage. If you'd like, you can deepen the press of that back leg a little bit. Good. Now bring it back into that halfway mark to come up and switch hands. Light touch on the foot bar, other arm lifts. I find that side bend. Now this way is probably a little bit more intense. Maybe push the knee a little extra. See if you can feel that stretch. Go all the way up through that oblique. And then come on up. Okay, amazing. Now, grab your weight and go to the other side. If you'd like, you can switch so you've got the red spring on the side that you're standing on. Doesn't make a huge difference, but you can if that feels good to you, okay? So now, closest foot to the shoulder rest, even the knees out, or scoot back if you want even more weight. Here we go. So we stand tall, knee towards the floor, looking at the ground, and then you're going to do your bicep curl, hinge slightly, find that lunge, and then reverse. Yes, so slow and really feeling under control of these springs, and then back up. Yes, this would be a great one to start adding more spring tension to eventually once you get kind of comfortable with it. This would be a great one to try to build and get your strength even better. Okay, so now let's do this 2 more times. And then on your last one, hold it at that end range. Kick the arm back behind you. Now scooter the carriage leg as you bend and stretch to tricep press with the arm for 5, 4, 3. Keep that deep bend on the front. 2, last one, and then finish by standing all the way up. Oh. All right, set your weight down, knee to the carriage, bottom foot slightly forward, and then we go into our stretch. Yes, you can hold it as long as you'd like. Make it a little more dynamic by moving through it a little bit more. Good, really squeeze that back glute. Try to move the carriage with that back foot. All right, now come up halfway, outside arm reaches up. Try to get taller and then find your side bend. If you want an extra stretch, you can open the knee a little from here. Bring the knee back in slightly to come up and do the other side. Arm to the ceiling, stretch away. Push the carriage out. Ooh, see how high you can get that stretch to go all the way up. All right, we did it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a like. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not and you'd like to see more videos like this. Leave a comment below if you have any ideas for future videos. I'd love to hear them. Pass this video on to a friend if you think they'd like it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye.